Hi, welcome back to my channel, my account. What do we call it now? Is it still my channel? I don't know, but I figured I would do kind of a postpartum life update and stuff. So here's that. Don't mind the piano in the background. It's been a long time since I've done like an update and kind of really talked about what's been going on in our lives and all the things. But first off, obviously, elephant in the room, I have a baby. So I have a 10-month-old. He'll be 10 months old in 2 days when I'm filming this, the 5th. He'll be 10 months old on the 7th, and oh my goodness, how is he already 10 months old? I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, 10 months old. He was born March 7th at 5:13 p.m. 5:11 p.m. something like that. I have it written down somewhere. He was 5 pounds and 15 ounces at birth. He was just a little tiny little baby, the cutest. And he was delivered via emergency C-section. If you want like a more in-depth birth story and kind of all that, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. But yeah, so he was born March 7th at a day over my due date. It started as an induction and turned to emergency C-section. Again, if you want like a full story, everything that went down, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. But other than that, yeah, so I had a baby. We finally got our baby. He is obviously a boy. He's a he. And his name is Kyson Carter. And how did we come up with that name? I don't really remember. I have had it written down in like my baby names for so long. And it kind of, we had 2 potential names. I'm not gonna share the other one just because if we do have a future baby, that's probably gonna be the future baby's name. But we did go back and forth between 2 names, and essentially we just kind of went with this one. We really wanted like an uncommon name, something you don't hear very often, something a little bit more unique. And so the way we spell his name is K-Y-S-E-N. And it's really common. If you see that name, it's spelled S-O-N. So we just made it even more unique, and yeah, he is the light of all of our lives, including his grandparents who absolutely adore him. He is a spoiled baby, but he is so loved. We have the best support system, the best village, if you will say, and it's been a really amazing time, and I'm gonna start getting really emotional. Hormones. I can't believe he's almost 1. He's gonna be 1 in 2 months. Like, that's, excuse me? Huh. Oh my gosh. That's insane. But, hi, Bubby. He's staring at me. But yeah, he's gonna be 1 in 2 months, which is insane, which also means we got some birthday planning to do, and I will take you guys along with that. We will do, you guys will help me. We'll do everything together. Why not? But what else? So I guess postpartum wise, so I'm 10 months postpartum. Obviously I had an emergency C-section, so healing is a lot different than if I were to had like a more normal. It's not normal. It's the same. A vaginal birth, I guess. So healing with that it went really well. I'd say the 6-week mark, I was good. I was all healed up, back to doing normal things. I will say it was really hard. the first initial couple weeks after a C-section because we were not prepared at all for it. Obviously it wasn't our plan, and so we were really not prepared, as well as we were also not prepared to have such a little baby. My whole pregnancy, I was constantly told this baby is on the larger side. We were gonna have to induce you early. And it wasn't until my final scan at, I think 37 weeks, or yeah, I think it was 37 weeks, I had my final scan, and they're like, this baby is tiny. So I went 36 weeks with almost weekly like scans and appointments every week to them saying this is a large baby, you're measuring ahead, like you won't be going full term because the baby's too big, and like to come, I have this baby and he's under 6 pounds. He's so tiny. And so I don't know what happened there. It was a shock to everybody. And I won't say that it like ruined my pregnancy and like my birth experience, having, if we'd known or them realize that it wasn't this big baby, but either way, he's healthy, I'm healthy, he's here, he is doing amazing, I'm doing pretty good. Back to the postpartum side, so 10 months postpartum. Postpartum has been a little weird, I will say. There are days where I don't know what is happening, like with my body, with my mind, with my mental health in a way. And since I do struggle with mental health, I can't differentiate the two. So some days it's like, I don't know if I'm having a mental health episode, if it's postpartum, if it's both, I don't know. And then there's some days where I also just cry randomly. It's fun, it's hormones. Yeah, it's a little weird. And then obviously like the postpartum, the first 6 weeks was definitely an adjustment, since I had just had like major surgery. We were not prepared for it. It wasn't the way we had planned, but originally we didn't really have like a plan. We went in knowing like anything can happen, and I think that was what made it a little bit easier. But the first couple weeks were hard because I couldn't do anything. I could not get out of bed. I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. I couldn't do anything. I was in a lot of pain, and it was something I had never experienced before, obviously. But first couple weeks were hard. Like, it's hard when you can't be there for your new baby. Like, you can't do those things. You can't just go pick them up. You can't just go get them when they're crying. Like, you have to have someone basically taking care of you at the same time, which thankfully my boyfriend had 3 weeks off after birth, which we are so grateful for. And it definitely made that a lot easier, as well as my granny came down. She lives a couple provinces over, so she came down, and it was a lot of help as well. And just, I had a lot of help, but it was just, it was a lot. It was a lot, but yeah. So that was that. As for how I'm doing now, current day, I feel like I'm able to manage like kind of my emotions and postpartum a little bit better. Obviously there's days where it like just hits me and it's like, it comes out of left field, can't control whatever's happening. But what else? He's playing. But we never did fully breastfeed. He would never latch. So I have been pumping, and exclusively pumping and feeding him that way for 10 months. And let me tell you, that is a full-time job on its own. It is a lot. Like, I'm grateful that someone else can feed him, but that doesn't stop the around the clock pumping I have to do. Like the first couple months, it was like every 2 hours on the dot, through the day, through the night, I was up and I was pumping, and so I was exhausted. Currently I only pump 3 times a day now. We're 10 months postpartum. I only pump 3 times a day, and that 3 pumps a day is enough to feed him for the following day. So what I pump today, he'll have tomorrow. So I always have a day ahead, which is really nice. And I do have a bit of a freezer stash that I was able to accumulate in the earlier months, which I'm also grateful for. Our goal is to, I wouldn't even say it's a goal, it's gonna be maintainable. We're gonna go a year pumping and then kind of transition off of that. I'm definitely looking forward to getting my body back and getting all that time back, because that's 3 hours out of my day pumping, but that doesn't include the washing of the parts, the like setting up the parts. Like it adds up a lot of time, and that's time away from like my baby, that's time away from family, that's time away from just life in general. It's hard. So currently right now I pump in the morning, anywhere between 5 and 7. It just depends when we get up, but the first thing I do when I get up is pump. If Alex is working that day, I have to pump before he goes to work. My issue is I cannot pump if I'm by myself with the baby. It just does not work. The baby needs me. The baby was super clingy and like just always wanted to be held when he was a lot younger. So pumping when I'm on my own was not doable, and that did definitely take a big dip in my supply, because when Alex did go back to work, I couldn't maintain that when babies started getting a little more active, slept less, all that. So, but now we're on a pretty good routine. I pump anywhere between 5 and 7. It's usually around 6-ish, I'd say, is like the average time, 6 o'clock. And then my next pump isn't until 4 p.m. So I go that huge stretch without pumping. I wish I could get another pump in between that, but I can't. And honestly, my supply hasn't really changed due to that, thankfully. And then my last pump of the day, if it's a work night for Alex, it's at 9. If it's a weekend or if he's off the following day, it's around 11. But yeah, I think that's kind of all. I need to go change him. I can smell him. Mom life. But yeah, I don't think there's quite or much else. I don't know. If you guys have any questions about anything to do with our postpartum journey or my postpartum journey, about baby, anything like that, let me know. I'm happy to talk about it, make a video about it. But we're doing good. He's here, super excited. I will get around to doing a birth video, like labor and delivery story video and all that, and yeah. But I think that's all I have right now. I don't know. I think so. So I'm just gonna end it here. Hopefully I kind of touch base on a little bit of everything. In the end, we're doing awesome. We're all doing great. Baby is growing, he's active. He wants to be all over the place. But I can do a 10-month update for him as well. I'll do a little 10-month update as well. Focus on him, kind of all the milestones he's been hitting and that. But as for this video, postpartum update, a little life update, that's it. I'm gonna end it here because I could just keep rambling. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you are new and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in our next video. Bye guys.